everyone, watch as I play with a new tool. You're gonna have to watch and find out what the tool is. I'm not gonna show it off, but it's a fun way to manipulate the alcohol ink and also remove it. So hang on tight and I'll show you the works. Later. Hey everyone, so I'm doing another alcohol ink basics, and this time we're still talking about ink removal. And this is a technique I used a lot on my dragon mandala. Actually, it was kind of a last minute thought of like, I wonder if this would work. So since this is very, very new to me, I wanted to share it with you guys because it's got a lot of possibilities, but also to keep in mind that I'm still in the experimental stage of this. And I don't want to call it a technique or something like that, but it's just another way of applying. I've got these great little watercolor brushes. Basically, it's got a little cavity in the bottom that you open it up, and you can, originally it's designed to fill in with water, and I thought, I wonder if this would work with alcohol. And I tried it. It does. Now, there are many different companies out there that have these kind of brushes. They're meant for like doing travel work, and say you want to go on the road and go do some watercolor, and you can even have a little tiny little compacts, you know, for your watercolor palette. And then these are your water already infused brushes, basically. This company here is DeWalt, and I'm sorry, did I do that? Derwent. So sorry. Let's see, get the name in there. At least I can give a little brand thing in there. And they have 3 different kind of brushes, or it's a set of 3. Open this up. So I've got a nice little point on one. I'll show you the second one. More of a chisel on the other one. And the third one, I wasn't planning on doing this part, a little bit more of a thicker brush point. So what I have done is I filled them up with alcohol. Now, I want to give you a heads up. If you do try this out at home and you try a different brand, give it a test run on another piece of paper, because this is connected, you know, and it's plastic. Alcohol seems to be, I want to say it's a little thinner. I'm not exactly sure of the actual properties of alcohol versus water. But one of these did really well, but the other one did do a little bit of leaking. So this is something to be mindful of. And what it'll do is it'll leak like a couple drips kind of thing here. But it was enough that I could see it ahead of time and be prepared for it, and know to be cautious of it. So check out, if you do get them, check out the company and do some testings on a piece of paper to see if it'll work. You know, if it drips too much, then you know that this one won't work for you. If it doesn't drip at all, then hey, you're set. Okay, so what I've done here is I filled this up. These originally come off, they're really stiff. So you just work at it by giving it a gentle little bit of a squeeze here, and it'll basically push the alcohol through your brush. And then if you notice, let's see if I can do this in a way. Yeah, you can see it there, where it comes off really clear. So that's the alcohol running through the brush, and it'll keep it saturated. It's not drippy, but it's enough that you can brush with it. All right, so we're just gonna play. Let me zoom it in a little bit. Try and zoom it in. Gloved fingers trying to zoom out. There we go. Okay. And focus on that point. Okay. I don't know why it hopped there, but it did. Okay, so just simply brushing will apply the alcohol. And you'll see it'll pick up a little bit of color on your brush. And what I do is, I'm gonna get a piece of paper, towel, handy. I'm gonna just put it to the side here, just so you can see, since I'm so zoomed in. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. Make sure we're focused. There we go. Okay. So I've got a little bit of orange on this tip, and what I can simply do is brush it off occasionally. And since it's supplying a lot of alcohol to it, you can almost completely remove the color with no problem. So I could continue to remove if I wanted to and wipe the color off. I could use it as a brush and simply mess with the pattern strokes. Well, because it's got a lot of alcohol in there, you can just keep on working it and moving it around. So you can see the possibilities really quickly. So let's see. Another zone here. You could also use it if you want to do your little dots. You can have an endless supply of little dots without having to reapply it into your alcohol, and just occasionally give it a little wipe off if it's picking up too much color. Like when I'm going over to the brown, it's going to start really picking up color on the tip. So I need to be mindful of that. In fact, let me just go ahead and get over there. See, it does pick it up pretty quick. So just wipe it off occasionally if you want to. Or you can even use it to, I want to pick up a little bit of brown. Maybe I want to move that brown over here. Or I get my trusty plate out. My tray of miscellaneous colors here. Let's see. Let me get some red. So I'm gonna, sometimes what I'll do is I'll reactivate the color with a couple drops and then move my brush around in that. See, I'm picking up some red really easily. And then apply just a little bit of red, and I just keep on moving it, and I can keep blending that color, and eventually that red's going to come out of my brush. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and help it. And at the end, when you want to clean off your brush, just give it a little bit of squeeze. Rub it, whoops, let me get it back on there. Give it a little bit of squeeze, and just paint with it on your paper towel. And I'll just push that alcohol through it. And if you notice, my point's nice and white again. Super easy to play with, works really great. All right, now, my chisel brush. Let me get some, I'm just giving it a little squeeze, get some alcohol flowing again in that. And I did a lot of black work, so I probably have stained my brush pretty good on this one. But I'm just showing you the chisel for right now. I'm just wondering about something here. Oh, hang on. Just had a thought, wondering if you could actually make a basket weaving kind of look. Probably could, but have to do it in a darker area. Let's see. This is what happens when you give an artist a tool. They have to play with it. Like, ooh, I wonder if it'll do this. And yes, it does. So I have just quickly come over and wiped off that brown, so it's basically off my brush right now. So my brush is really, well, besides the black, It's fairly clean. And look, I can go over to the yellow zone. I'm so zoomed in, this is really tricky. Give it a little squeeze and start painting in my yellow, and you notice I'm not transferring any brown. Okay, so I could keep working in this area if I wanted to, transfer it off onto a paper towel. That's what I'm doing, just cleaning off the brush and slowly bring it up to white. And if I want to keep that blend, dry it off real quick. Move to another spot. So a lot of possibilities with this little V brush. So kind of cool. Let me bring it. All right. Well, it is super zoomed in. I'm going to zoom back out so that way you'll be nice and sharp. There we go. Okay. So this is just by rubbing the brush across the area and creating that basket weave. Taking it and just doodling all over with no breaks in there, and then just starting to brush over to slowly remove. That's the area I just did, and would remove, wipe it off, remove, wipe it off, remove, wipe it off. And it started creating a nice soft blend there with the removal process. And I'm just playing and dotting and drawing. So you can see how this really could be a handy little tool for playing with the alcohol ink. All right, so get in. So this is the particular company. Well, basically it's a watercolor brush. It has a little cavity for keeping water in, but I've got it filled up with alcohol. So have fun playing. Subscribe, hit that like button, but more importantly, hit the bell to get notified, because you never know what I'm going to put up. Later, y'all.